Hi, everyone, and welcome to Divine Resolution Tarot. For those of you who are new, my name is Chanel, and for those of you who are returning, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to read for all of you again. This reading is intended for the sign of Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, whatever, if it's prominent in your chart, this should give you a message. We're looking at your love life from now up until the end of September. And you guys, I shuffled the deck. You can literally see me shuffle up in the corner there. And you got cards that are so similar to Aries. I'm like 99% sure a lot of you are dealing with someone who has Aries in their chart because your reading is like a mirror to what's going on with them. Now, you're starting off in the Nine of Cups reversed. I've pulled some cards for present, future, and advice. We're going to take a look at all of it, which is where Aries started as well. So lots of feeling as though perhaps you put your stock into something that is not panning out. Unfortunately, what I'm picking up from this is that there's a lot of potential in a situation, a lot that hasn't been explored, but you are not sure that you'll be able to get to the end goal of whatever you had in mind in regards to this connection, because your person is acting like a free agent at this time. It feels like you're disappointed because they've made a decision to either like go out more, perhaps spend less time with you. It feels like they're kind of disengaging or disconnecting because they're in the Three of Cups energy. This is somebody who is acting like they're single. So if you're in a committed relationship or if there's someone that you're into, that would be very frustrating, very disappointing. It's looking as though they're not taking anything serious at this time, whereas you were looking at the situation as being more invested. This is something that you felt like would go the distance with this person, even if this is somebody new, right? You could have had a few dates and really hit it off, and then suddenly you see them still on the app or whatever, right? Or not texting back as quickly as they had initially. For those of you that are in a connection that's been more long-term, this is going to feel kind of like your partner has done a 180 because they're going back to things that they were doing when you first met them when they were single. Okay. So it's kind of a drastic shift of like, I've been with you for maybe 8 to 10 months. I knew you before we got into this relationship. You behaved this way. Then you were with me and you behaved a different way. Right. And now I'm seeing you start to show kind of signs of like going back to being single with your behavior. And I'm not understanding what this shift is. So it feels like for you, if you are dealing with an Aries, maybe watch the video because there's a lot of information for you there kind of about how your Aries is responding to what's going on within this connection. But for you, it feels like this is creating a lot of insecurity. This is activating insecurities that perhaps you had in the past before you met this person. Could be because of things that happened to you in a previous relationship. Could be because of things that you saw in your family dynamic, right? Perhaps you had a parent that started going out more and then all of a sudden your parents got divorced, right? There's something along those lines where what your partner is doing is starting to really trigger you. Or, if they're not your partner, what your love interest is doing is starting to trigger you. And so it's bringing up kind of a lot of old wounds, right, from childhood. I feel like you're not confronting this person head on. You could be trying to make plans for what you will do when this situation dissolves, because it's like you've already kind of begun to check out, meaning that you see that your partner is checking out or the person that you're interested in is checking out. I think a big part of what's frustrating you is that it seems like they're spending less time with you, but they also seem happier for some reason. And so for you, it's like, okay, this is probably not going to continue, but you're not confronting this person about it, right? It's almost like maybe you're tiptoeing around it or you're trying to find some kind of like clues as to what's going on with them or what they're doing. It feels like there's an elephant in the room this month, but nobody is really speaking on it, right? You're both just kind of in your own space, operating however you operate, and then reacting to what you're seeing one another do, but not having the conversations that need to be had. you could find yourself feeling like you need to try to make plans with this person more, hold on to this person more, perhaps to try to bring back the dynamic that you were experiencing previously before it feels like they just kind of flipped a switch and changed on you, right? I see that this is something that you want to work, but there's also kind of this feeling of like, I can't make this person do anything. So if you're noticing them reverting back to old behaviors, with this Fool in the reverse, it's you looking at the situation and feeling like, okay, I knew who this person was when I started dealing with them. I thought I could change them, or I thought they would change for me, or perhaps their behavior would change once they got into a relationship, or, we connected and they thought I was so amazing. They would stop doing some of these things that, is a deal breaker for me. And it looks like for a while this person did do that, but they're reverting back to some of their old ways. And for you, that's very, very triggering at this time. Now, as far as your future energy, you start to pull away. It's almost like you start to brace yourself for the fallout or be protective of yourself, not quite as invested in this person. Really, it's like you've stopped putting into the situation, whether it's dissolved or not. And you're kind of like preparing your life for what it will be like once this is done. But it's weird to me because the conversations still are not taking place at this time, right? You're starting to look at this commitment. You're starting to evaluate who this person is, kind of what they brought into your life and what is lacking in certain areas. And then this person is like hanging out in your energy, not really doing a whole lot, right? They are also disconnecting in a really weird way where it's like the conversations you used to have aren't happening the way that they used to. Maybe they're being a little less forthcoming about where they are or who they're with or what they're doing. It's making you pause, right? It's making you feel like something is going on with this person. Now, as far as your person, I'm going to clarify it because I want to know what's going on with them. Okay, so here's the problem. You're in Four of Pentacles in the upright. This person is in Four of Pentacles in the reverse. So by the end of the month, it'll feel like they've completely checked out of the connection and like they're working on something else. And it feels like the two of you are mirroring each other in a lot of ways, but neither one of you wants to be the person to like say it, right? To say like, I think this is over. I think this is done. For some of you, this could be a situation where you end up kind of doing the slow fade. And then all of a sudden it's like, I never talk to this person anymore. I don't know what happened. For others of you, you could feel like this person ghosts or disconnects very quickly because you're ending on the 10 of Wands in the reverse. Or you could end up with a text message that feels like you were kind of blindsided, like, wait, okay, so we're not a thing anymore, right? For those of you who don't have a commitment, it's also very possible that you see this person post something towards the end of the month where it seems like they're thinking about someone else or they're trying to reconnect with someone else, or they could do something as far as like, back here where they have some of this old behavior that it looks like they stopped. They could decide to go all in on whatever that is towards the end of the month in a way to trigger you so much that the two of you just break up over whatever that is because they know that's like a hot button issue for you, or that would be the last straw. It's almost like this person doesn't want to be the bad guy. They don't want to just call it, right? And so you may find that they end up doing something to intentionally cross a line that you've already told them, like, hey, that's a deal breaker for me. They could do it in a way that's almost kind of public. So perhaps just be aware of that. Be aware of your reactions to that. Because this is like, it's a weird dynamic, but it's also like neither one of you wants to be the bad guy. And just say what's going on, right? There's a lot of strange behavior that's like very covert, tit for tat, triggering each other, pushing each other away, reacting to what was said, what wasn't said, and then like speculating on what those things mean and taking action past that, right? I would advise you perhaps have a discussion with whoever this is. Wow, you even got Justice in the reverse, whereas Aries got Justice in the upright. Like, your cards are so similar, but mirroring one another. It's very possible that for you, Taurus, this is a karmic partner. This could have been somebody that you struggled to get into a relationship. For those of you who are like in a relationship with this person, they could have had like huge commitment phobia, commitment issues. And that's like weird, because why would they commit to you just to do this, right? For what it looks like 9 months, 10 months, and then to just so radically flip, right? What was the point of any of this? And I think that that's what you're really going to be evaluating in the month of September. It does look like there's going to be some sort of confession, some sort of argument where everybody just airs it out, and I think that's coming after whatever you see that ends up really pissing you off. Okay. It's like a big blow up and kind of like, this was my expectation. This is what I wanted. This is what you would have to do to get back in my good graces. And then perhaps there's silence for a while is what this is looking like, because I am seeing some kind of like offer as far as, hey, if you could explain why you did this, if you could apologize why you did this, if you could reciprocate. But this person seems to be checking out, right? So I would take silence as an answer. I would take the action that it seems like they're taking. It's against you. Even if they try to play ignorant, it's not, right? I would take that for what it is, right? It's almost like this person, I don't know if their feelings have changed around like their comfort level of being in a commitment. If you are dealing with an Aries, I'm going to tell you right now, Aries felt like they were having to change for you. And eventually that started to wear on their nerves. So maybe check out that Aries reading. If you're not dealing with an Aries though, something about the dynamic has shifted in your relationship. Like they decided that they wanted something other than what the two of you had, but they weren't communicating that. And so they're just doing things to try to piss you off so that they don't have to be the bad guy and just say, hey, what I want has changed, or I signed up for something that I can't do. You get what I'm saying? As far as your advice, you got the 9 of Pentacles. So right now is a really great time for you to just work on yourself. I did see some cards here talking about you perhaps anticipating a separation or a break from this person and kind of getting an idea of like, well, where can I go next? What should I do next? Should I re-download these apps? Should I put myself back out there? The time for that is not right now. There could be some opportunities financially for you that this relationship is taking your focus away from, right? If you've been working really hard to build a connection with someone, Spirit is advising you to take the time to build something for yourself. For some of you, right now is a great time to start a new business, go back to school, reassess your finances, and get on a different budget, because this is actually bringing you into the 9 of Pentacles. So it's very possible that if this person just isn't it or where it's at for you, you are being placed in a point in your life where you can attract a much higher caliber partner, right? You got secret admirers. Someone has deeper feelings for you than they are letting on. Friendship, nurture the bonds of friendship within your relationship, and your love life will dramatically improve. So it's very possible that there's a friend who's kind of like waiting in the wings to get your attention. And Spirit is removing this so that you can get to know that person. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes when we're paying attention to what's very shiny, we're not paying attention to what's very stable or what will be very good for us, right? Let's get some love messages for you. Sacred union, honor and treasure your relationship, for it is truly sacred. Now, I want you to take a second and kind of think about what a good relationship looks like to you, what your ideal partner looks like to you, and then really think about, is it this person? And if not, who would that be? But if this is that person, someone who loves you is not going to do things that will piss you off intentionally, because there's going to be such a fear of losing you, right? So maybe take a step back and really value yourself and think about like all the things that you deserve. If it's not coming from this person, whether you feel like this is your person or your divine partner or whatever, you need to be putting yourself first right now, because you should be treated with honor and respect, right? Bottom of the deck, don't make decisions based on guilt or what you think you should do, for it is only in being true to yourself that you can be true to others. And it's possible that this person may try to guilt trip you into giving them attention after they do this really weird thing to make you angry. And you could be coming through as the King of Cups in reverse, where you're just like, you know what, I'm so over it. I can't do this with you. Like, you really crossed a line with me. Let's get one more. Wow. Okay. It is important right now to take a step back and spend some time alone. Instead of placing your focus on one another, now is the time to give to yourself. That's exactly what I was saying. And then you got friendship again, right? So you're really being encouraged to put yourself first. Spend some time with friends, right? Maybe you will meet someone new through a friend, or the next person you find yourself falling for could be somebody that's already in your friend group. All right, Taurus, this has been your September love message. Thank you so much for allowing me to read for all of you, and I will speak to you again soon. Bye.